Yeah. In this video, I'm going to list my top 5 video games of all time. This isn't necessarily the 5 best games that I've ever played, but more of a top 5 games that have had the biggest impact on my life. These are games that I will always remember playing, games that have defined points in my life, and games that, in a way, have shaped the person that I am today. So, without further ado, let's get started. Number 5, Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is one of the very first rated mature games that I've ever played. It came out when I was just 10 years old and I had to beg my dad for countless hours to allow me to play it. He eventually agreed to rent it from Blockbuster for me, and after I kept asking him to rent it over and over and over again, he finally gave in and bought me the game on GameCube. Resident Evil 4 is the first time that I experienced real suspense in a video game. I had never played anything like it before. Having a herd of zombies chase after you while the only defense you have is a very limited amount of ammo and a hunting knife is, well, both scary and exciting as hell. To 10-year-old me, this game had the best graphics I had ever seen in any other game at the time. Aside from the run-of-the-mill zombie villagers or Las Plagas, the game kept you on your toes with a ton of creepy, aggressive, unique, murder-hungry foes that scared the hell out of you. The boss fights are some of the most memorable I've ever seen in any game, as I can still remember all of them clearly after over a decade passing. Not only was the gameplay of these bosses a blast, but the bosses themselves were well-realized, thought-out characters that added a whole new edge to fighting them. I loved this game, and I still love this game, and you can bet your ass I'm going to pick it up once again when they release it on the Nintendo Switch. Number 4. BioShock Infinite. The third BioShock is one of my favorite games of all time. This is a game that I would argue has a perfect game design. Its incredibly authentic aesthetic and eerie dystopian storyline work together to create one of the most incredible narrative experiences I've ever had. I enjoyed it so much that I beat the game on every difficulty and even unlocked all of the achievements. From its awe-inspiring visuals to its beautifully disturbing enemies, this game is unlike anything I've ever played. It genuinely gives you the feeling that you're living in a George Orwell novel. The combat is violently artistic and wholly unique. Combining powerful weapons with magical vigor attacks creates a gameplay experience that hooked me for hours and hours. I can't remember any other game that lets you summon a flock of rabid crows upon your enemies right before you shoot them in the face. The city of Columbia is filled with compelling characters, a rich history, a boatload of hidden secrets and Easter eggs, and an architectural aesthetic that can easily be considered a masterpiece in game design. And yes, I like Columbia more than Rapture. I know. I must be crazy. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It was really hard for me not to put Red Dead Redemption 2 on this list, but I love so many of Rockstar's open world games, and I've become such a fan of open world games throughout my life that I think it's important to include the one game that started it all for me, GTA San Andreas. I can still vividly remember the TV commercial for this game as a bunch of crazy action sequences run along to Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. After successfully begging my dad to give in and buy me yet another rated mature game, I instantly became obsessed. The freedom to do whatever the hell you want in a world of people was completely new to me, and I loved every second of it. Sure, 11-year-old me really didn't understand a whole lot about corrupt police officers and gang wars, but what a damn classic. And the cheat codes. The cheat codes! This game had endless possibilities with so many vehicles, weapons, and airplanes at your disposal. You could fly a frickin' jetpack or drive a hovercraft. And I mean, sure, it's kinda embarrassing to admit, but mindlessly mowing down innocent bystanders has become an American pastime, and it's all thanks to Rockstar. Thank you, Rockstar, for giving me an outlet for my teenage aggression. My first experience with Rockstar's open-world sandbox formula was incredibly memorable, and it's one of the reasons why I keep coming back year after year. I bought GTA San Andreas on PS2, again on Xbox 360, and even downloaded the mobile version on iOS. And you can bet your ass that I'm going to play this game again if they ever decide to remaster it. Number 2, Pokemon Crystal version. Growing up, I missed the boat on the original Pokemon Red and Blue. To be fair, the games came out when I was just 3 years old, so the second generation of Pokemon games is where I really got my introduction into the series. Don't worry, I've gone back and beaten the OG games several times because I wouldn't consider myself a huge Pokemon fan if I hadn't, but Silver and Gold is where it all started for me, followed by the crown jewel that is Pokemon Crystal. What a game. This might sound stupid in 2019, but I can't express to you how big of a deal it was that the Pokemon actually had animations in this game instead of just standing still. The capability to explore 2 regions and collect 16 gym badges instead of the standard 8 was epic beyond comprehension in the year 2000. Everything you know and love about the Pokemon series is there. The Generation 1 and 2 Pokemon are by far the best of the entire franchise. The epic legendaries Ho-Oh and Lugia and the incredibly difficult to track down legendary dogs gave you plenty to do once completing the main story. I clocked in countless hours into this game, had a full team of level 100 Pokemon, and even traded with some kid at the community pool to get Mew, which was like impossible back then. Unfortunately, my brother would eventually trade my Pokemon Crystal into GameStop behind my back, but we'll leave family grudges out of this video. Number 1. Halo 3. I cannot find the words to describe just how much time and effort I put into playing Halo 3. It was my first online multiplayer experience, and boy did I experience it. I even met a ton of players online from all over the world who I'd played with all of the time. It was such a wonderful communal experience as all of my friends were on Halo 3 and we all had an absolute blast. I had never been so concerned with my online ranking in any other game. I would wake up on weekends and the first thing I would do was turn on my 360 and play Lone Wolves until one of my friends logged on. I spent hours messing around on Forge, playing Griffball, Team SWAT, Team Snipers, Doubles, Team Slayer. I mean, this game had so much to offer. It was the very first game that I had unlocked all the achievements for, and for anyone who hasn't done that, trust me, it's no easy task. You know how difficult it is to hit 2 players at once online with a Spartan laser, or to get an overkill? It wasn't easy, but it was worth it, I think. And I haven't even mentioned the story yet. The Tale of Master Chief is a modern odyssey. The plot, characters, and just the scale of the whole thing is unlike anything you'll see in another sci-fi game. Each level was completely unique, and beating the game on legendary difficulty still stands as one of my greatest gaming achievements. Thank you, Bungie, for the hours and hours and hours of fun I spent with my friends playing Halo 3. So that's my list. All 5 of these games had an incredible impact on my life, and it would be really fun to play through them again and post reviews on this channel if I ever got the opportunity. What do you guys think? Do you have any memories of playing any of these games? What does your top 5 list look like? Feel free to leave a comment, and if you really want to make my day, press that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.